Hey guys, it's Katie. Welcome back to my channel. I am so glad that you guys are here. First things first, just wanted to start out. If I sound weird at all in this video, I did just get my wisdom teeth out. I feel like I have a little bit of a lisp, but I also can't really tell because I'm the one hearing it and I'm the one talking. So if you don't hear anything, just don't worry about it. If you do, I apologize. I got them out a little less than a week ago, so you're just gonna have to bear with me on the voice for a little bit of the video. But anyway, speaking of the video, we're gonna be doing a 24-hour readathon today. The last time I did one of these was actually for Bookmas, whenever I posted 12 videos in the month of December. And every time I do one, you guys really seem to enjoy it, and this will be the third time I've done one before. And the biggest reason why I really wanted to do a 24-hour readathon this month is because I really want to finish my physical TBR. I have a lot of books that I've been looking forward to and really anticipating, and there's one or two that I've just been kind of putting off, so I feel like this would be a great way to motivate myself to get through the TBR. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to finish every single book on my monthly TBR in this video, but I'm just really hopeful that this will help me get through my TBR a little bit easier because I have never fully finished a physical TBR. I think that's true. It's definitely true. I've never fully finished a physical TBR for the month. So hopefully this month will be the first month that I can actually do that. There's a lot of different ways you can do a 24-hour readathon. Sometimes people set the timer for 24 hours and they don't stop the timer throughout their day even while they're sleeping, eating, doing other stuff besides reading. I've also seen people break it up into chunks, 12 hours one day, 12 hours the next, 8 hours for 3 days. People will also just try and do only reading for 24 hours, as much as physically possible. They won't go to sleep or anything like that too. But the way I like to do it is I set a 24-hour timer, and then I basically only have the timer running whenever I'm reading, so then we can get a real accurate representation of how much I can truly read within a 24-hour time frame. Obviously, it's not consecutive or back-to-back. Let me know if any of those other ideas or ways of doing a 24-hour readathon interest you. If you want me to do one of those, or if you have an idea, let me know, because I have only done this way and I've really enjoyed it because it's really motivated me to read. But I feel like it'd be fun to try and do the other ways as well. And I do have some of the books on my physical TBR right here that we are going to be choosing from, at least for the first book. Who knows if I'm going to be picking from this pile for the entire video. You know what, let's set a goal for at least 2 books from this pile get read in this video. If you watch my monthly TBR videos, you'll know that my TBR was bigger than this. I'm not including the tandem read from Throne of Glass because that's going to be in a separate video. And I think that is all that was on my TBR this month. If not, I've already read the book. So we have 2 mysteries and 2 romances in here. We have Good Girl Bad Blood, which is the second book in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy by Holly Jackson. I really did like the first one. It kind of kept me on my toes and it was really easy to binge, so I feel like this would be a good first pick. And then we have Killer Instincts by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the second book in the Natural series, another mystery thriller type book. I really enjoyed the first one as well. And then we have Flawless by Elsie Silver. I am so excited to read this. I've heard nothing but amazing things about this. This is a cowboy romance and there are 5 books in this interconnected standalone series. It's called the Chestnut Spring series and I've just never been so excited. I really want to read this one hopefully now while that Target buy 2 get 1 free sale is going on, because if I really like it, I'm just gonna end up buying the rest of the series because why not? I feel like whenever there's deals like that, you just have to take as much advantage of them as you can. I also posted about that deal whenever it was actually going on because I don't think this video will be up and the deal will be going on at the exact same time. So if you're ever curious about book deals and stuff like that, definitely follow my Instagram because I do post them a lot on there because I do participate in a lot of them. So really want to read this. And then we also have Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score, which is the second book in the Knock 'Em Out interconnected standalone small town series. I've just been putting this off for so long and I'm just so nervous to read it. I do have Kindle Unlimited right now though, so I think maybe reading this on the Kindle app on my iPad, because I don't have a Kindle, I just use my iPad or my phone. I think that might help a lot. I think it's just the sheer size of this that has me putting it off. And I've just heard mixed reviews about the last 2 too, but I really do want to get through this one. Honestly, for the TBR right now, these 2 seem really similar and these 2 seem really similar. I did just read a romance though, so I think I'm gonna pull from one of these 2. I think I'm gonna read Good Girl Bad Blood. This one just seems a little bit more interesting to me. I also read the first one not too long ago, and in this one it follows the same characters from the first one, but she has a murder mystery crime podcast, which I think is kind of interesting. So let's go ahead and start Good Girl Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. have 20 hours and 55 minutes left on the timer right now. The glare. You can't even see that. And I'm basically exactly halfway through Good Girl Bad Blood. I'm on page 197 and it's like a little bit under 400 pages. And things are really picking up. I feel like I didn't really like say anything about this book either, other than the fact that it is kind of like a murder mystery and it's YA. I get scared of quite literally everything. If you've watched any of my other vlogs, you would know that, especially if I've read a thriller or talked about a thriller mystery in any of those vlogs. So I normally just stick to like YA thriller mysteries. I don't find them scary to the point where I'm not gonna sleep because like I'm thinking about them and stuff like that, but I still find them really intriguing and interesting and fast-paced and just kind of like fun to read about, just because it is like really interesting. This trilogy in particular is about a girl named Pippa, and she basically is into like murder mystery and crime and all of that kind of stuff. In the first book, she decides to do her like big senior project on this cold case that was in their little small town that really like never got solved. And it was like 6 years ago. It was about these two teenagers. There was like a death and then some other things going on too, and that was like the first book. But then we go into the second book and we learn that she has created a podcast, and it's like really popular, as true crime podcasts are, but she basically creates a podcast. And the cool thing is that the entire thing that like happened in the first book was like the first season of her first podcast. And since so much crazy stuff happened to her in the first book, she was like, I'm never doing this again. Like, I'm promising myself, like, even though she loves it, she thinks it's interesting, like it's kind of like her calling, like it just like speaks to her in a way, like looking into all these things just because she finds it so intriguing and interesting. And she's also just like really good at it. She promised herself that she's not going to do it again. Well, something happens in the town again, and somebody that she knows personally goes missing. She ends up helping them, and that's kind of like where we're at right now. There is a lot of crazy stuff happening, so many different characters and stuff like that, but also like the way that Holly Jackson writes is just so intriguing and just like keeps me wanting to read more. And I don't really read a lot of thriller mysteries, but I literally just put all of the books she's ever written on my want to read on Goodreads, just because everything she writes I want to read, because it is so interesting and intriguing. And I'm like, ugh, like it could be this person, it could be that, it could be him, it could be her. Like it just doesn't stop. Like it's just so, like I feel like I'm Pippa and like I'm in this book trying to figure out this mystery, and I really love this book, and I really enjoyed the first one too. I think this one started off a lot quicker than the first one did. Obviously, I feel like it's unfair sometimes to kind of compare the first and second books in a series, just because you have to get to know the characters and get to know their life and who they are and all of that kind of stuff before you can truly get into the plot. Another thing I absolutely love about Holly Jackson's writing too is, one, short chapters. Absolutely love that. And two, she has all of these like random cool elements. We get a lot of interviews, which is really cool. So Pippa like interviews people and like has them say like their side of the story, where they saw the suspect, all of that kind of stuff. We get what Pippa's thinking, what Pippa's going through whenever she figures out things. Right here we get like a courtroom sketch, photos of evidence. There's just like tons of stuff in here like that, and it's just like kind of cool because it like makes you feel like you're the one solving the case, and it just makes it really interesting. I'm really glad I ended up picking this one up and choosing to pick this one. I really want to finish this series out maybe this month, if not maybe in like May or something, but it's just like keeping me on my toes so much, and like I'm not really like wanting to put it down to read, which is obviously like always a really great sign and showing that you're enjoying a book and kind of into it. I have 200 pages left. I really want to try and finish it tonight. It is currently 2:34, and yesterday I started this video kind of like more at the end of my day, like after I finished all my work, because I did have a lot of work to do yesterday, and I do have something going on tonight for like around 2-ish hours, so it might be a stretch, but we are going to go ahead and try and finish this today. Where I just left off, like I'm just kind of like what is going on? Obviously I can't say anything because I don't want to like spoil a thriller of all books, but I'm really excited to get back into it. Okay, sorry if the lighting is bad. You guys are just gonna have to bear with me. I'm actually in the Barnes & Noble parking lot right now because I'm about to go in. I have a video that I need to edit and finish today that I haven't started yet. So I'm literally gonna be there all day, and Luke and I have plans later tonight. So I'm just kind of staying in town today, but I did finish Good Girl Bad Blood. I actually ended up finishing this in 2 days, which I was kind of surprised about. I literally read like 300-ish pages to finish this, and wow. I really enjoyed this book. The ending was crazy. It just kept on going and going and going. And it honestly, like, I was reading Goodreads reviews and a lot of people said that they really enjoyed the first one, but I was like just as intrigued, if not more. I think it was just because I felt a little bit more connected to Pippa as a character. Looking back at it now, I think there was like more that happened, I guess, revolving like the mystery to Pippa in the first one, but the mystery itself in this one, there was still stuff like going on and happening. It just wasn't happening like to Pippa personally. Like it wasn't like a personal attack to her, which honestly in the first one it kind of made me nervous. Like there was just like a lot going on with her and I felt really bad, especially because she is like so young, like she's still in high school. And there's also some stuff that connects to the first book in this one too, which I thought was like very interesting, which makes me want to read the third one like really soon, hopefully this month, if not next month. And I know that Killer Instincts is on my TBR, and I know I want to get through my TBR, but I really want to read the next one in the series, As Good as Dead, before I get to that one, because one, I'd be done with the Good Girls Guide Murder series after I read that one. I know there's like a novella, but I just don't think I'm gonna read that. And then after I'm done with that, I can just fully focus on the Natural series, because I feel like jumping back and forth, like, I don't know, I forgot a lot about what happened in the first one, and I read the first Naturals like a while ago, so I'll be honest, I don't really remember. I think I just need to keep up better with series that I'm in, especially if there's only like a few books and they're like easy to get through. Like reading them in the span of like a few months instead of reading them like all over the place, because the last time I read the Naturals was like October, because I just forget about stuff. I forget about the characters and I just don't feel kind of connected to them, which I feel like doesn't give the book like the fair chance that it deserves, like rating wise at least. Anyways, I really enjoyed this. I absolutely flew through it, and it has a lot of like really great bingeable qualities. So I feel like it was perfect for our 24-hour readathon. I actually did briefly start our next book. I think I'm only like 20 pages in, and I decided to start reading Flawless by Elsie Silver. This is also on my TBR for the month. This is perfect time to read through it. I've been wanting to read this forever. These are cowboy romances, and this one is about Rhett and Summer, and all I know so far is that he's a bull rider and he doesn't really have like the best reputation. He's kind of like a bad boy, I guess, a little bit. And Summer's dad is like Rhett's like manager, I believe, and so to bring up his image, Summer's basically going to be babysitting him, making sure like he's behaving and stuff like that, so they keep their sponsorships. I'm really enjoying it so far. From the 20 pages that I have read, we do have 17 hours and 26 minutes left on our timer, me acting like you can see that whenever you literally can. So I'm feeling pretty good. I am already kind of thinking about what I want to read next. I might pick up a book today at Barnes, but actually I'm not going to do that because the Target sale just happened and I just bought a ton of books, so let's scratch that on the agenda already. I don't know, I'm hoping that I get through with my video today so I can read a little bit of this. But yeah, I'm really happy with this one so far, and I'm really hoping that this has the same bingeable qualities as this one did. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into Flawless by Elsie Silver. My camera at an angle where you literally cannot see the absolute mess that is on the floor right now. I am like deep cleaning everything currently, like clothes, going through everything, wiping down counters, wiping down drawers, all of that wonderful good kind of stuff, and it is literally a mess. So if this angle's weird, that's why. Anyways, let's go ahead and do some reading updates. I started the rule book, as you guys saw, while I was doing my reading journal, but I'm currently 48% through that one. This is the newest release by Sarah Adams. It released on April 2nd, I believe, of this year. And it's in the same world as The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. If you guys have read that, it's like a football romance. And this one is about a football player, but it's not really a football romance because there's not like football playing involved. Like the guy in it is not playing football right now, if that makes sense. I don't want to give anything like specifically away. It's basically about this guy named Derek and this girl named Nora, and they were together in college and they broke up for one reason or another. And currently he's playing football. He needed a new agent come in. Nora, her dream was to become a sports agent, and he is her first client. They haven't seen each other since they broke up, and they were like perfect together. They always think about each other, all that kind of stuff, and it's kind of like a the one that got away situation. It's a second chance romance, which honestly I love that trope so much, and I'm really enjoying it so far. Sarah Adams' books specifically, I think I love listening to audiobook because I think that her books are just so fun and like kind of like, not kind of, but rom-com-y. They're so rom-com-y and just fun and light and airy, and I love listening to them because hearing the narrators like really get into it and like be jokey and stuff like that, I feel like the banter plays out better whenever I'm listening to it for her books. I don't know why, because I also listen to Practice Makes Perfect, and I've read Physically, When in Rome, and The Cheat Sheet, and I feel like listening to them I've enjoyed them a lot more. Anyways, I'm enjoying that a lot. Hopefully going to read more of that as I'm like deep cleaning and stuff like that this week. And then for Flawless, I am about halfway through. I am on page 175, about to start chapter 17. Both of these books are dual POV, by the way, which I've been loving so much. I feel like every book should be dual POV, honestly, or multiple POV if it's like a fantasy or whatever. So we're in the small town of Chestnut Springs, which is like this like cute little country town, whatever, small town country vibes. And Summer is a lawyer. She's very corporate. She's very not country vibes. I'm really enjoying this. This is probably one of the easiest books that I've read in a really long time. The writing just flows very easy, and this is my first Elsie Silver book that I've ever read, and I'm just really excited to read the rest of the series because of the fact that the writing is just so easy. And like, there's some books that you read and the writing's a little bit harder to understand, but once you get it, you get it, and like you can still have like that form of escapism. But then there's books like this one where you read it and everything on the page just makes perfect sense as you read it, and it's just so easy to understand. It's so fun to get into, and like the writing is so good, and I've just really been feeling like that with this one, honestly. Oh, I also just did not tell you where we were at with the timer. We have 10 hours and 14 minutes left, so we're definitely gonna be able to finish this one and the rule book for sure. I don't know if we'll be able to finish a whole nother book, but we're probably gonna be able to start a whole nother book at least. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this book so far, and I feel like I'm just reading it so quickly. Like, I'm just enjoying it so much, eating it up, and I'm loving it. Like, I feel like this entire summer I'm gonna get through all 5 of these books just because I'm eating this one up. It's so good. And now I understand what all the girlies were saying about this series and why I should have read it sooner. Probably gonna do a little bit of reading tonight. I'm almost done with my chores and stuff for the day, and hopefully I can finish this tomorrow. I just have enjoyed it so much so far. Okay, we have just under 5 hours left on the timer. I did end up finishing the rule book by Sarah Adams. I'm honestly not quite sure what I feel about that one quite yet. I honestly feel like it was a little too long and kind of just like dragged on a little bit. I didn't really feel a crazy connection to the couple at all. I thought that it was like cute and fun. Not my favorite Sarah Adams book that I have read for sure. I know I already said this, but that book was Second Chance Romance, and they basically make like a rule book of things that they can't do because they used to date. And then they end up getting into like a little bit of fake dating, and whenever I knew that it was going to be like a fake dating trope, I was like, oh, like I'm probably gonna love this. I don't know. It's not like I hated it. Like it wasn't like bad, and I could see a lot of other people enjoying it a lot more than I did, but I don't know. I just didn't like it that much, which is weird because I've pretty much enjoyed almost every other Sarah Adams book that I've ever read. I finished that earlier today though, so maybe I'll have more thoughts on that like later towards the end of the video whenever we do the wrap up, so I'll talk about it more then. But I also have like 30-ish pages left in Flawless by Elsie Silver. Guys, I'm like really loving this. Do I think this is a 5-star read? Absolutely not, but it's so like, it's just like really good. It's everything you really want out of like a small town contemporary romance. I really like Summer. I really like Rhett. I feel like they're both like very like deep, and it's not too spicy either. I thought it was gonna be way too spicy for me, but I feel like there's just like the perfect amount of spice. Not that I don't like spice though. I've been saying in a lot of my recent videos that I've been enjoying tension a lot more than spice, and you don't even get spice until like halfway through this book. So I feel like there was enough tension for me to really like the characters and like want them to be together and kind of like root for them. That's like another thing with the rulebook too. Like, not that I wasn't rooting for them, but maybe it's just because I'm reading both of those. Like, I was reading them both at the same time. I just like really care about them more, Rhett and Summer, than I did about Derek and Nora in the rulebook. Like, I don't know, like, not that I wasn't rooting for them, like I said, but like it just like I just like didn't care as much, you know what I mean? But I care about them so much. Since we do have a little bit of time left and I really do want to try and finish the timer today, it is currently 2:38, so I feel like I could do it. I do work tonight from 6 to 9, but I feel like I need to get another audiobook on queue so I can like read while I'm driving and stuff like that. Luke and I also have to go run an errand too because he has to go get his car checked out. So I'm gonna be bringing this with me, and I think that our next audiobook read is going to be Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. As we all know, I've been putting this book off for a hot minute, and I found that it was on Spotify as an audiobook, and I feel like I will be putting it off a lot less if I go ahead and get into it as an audiobook first, and then I can pick it up and read whenever I'm done with Flawless, and then I can just go on and off with the physical copy and the audiobook, just kind of depending on how I'm feeling. So this is the last book that we are going to be finishing in this video today. We're not gonna finish it actually, so scratch that, never mind, because we do only have like under 5 hours left, but this is the book that we are going to be reading kind of for the rest of the video after we finish Flawless. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready a little bit for my day, and then we are going to dive into these two books. Okay guys, I've officially finished Flawless by Elsie Silver. Our timer check, we have 2 hours and 26 minutes left. I really enjoyed this book. Kind of like I was talking about earlier today, I think I really enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I was going to, especially as I started reading in it. What? I'm literally so tired, I'm making no sense right now. Especially as I started it, I was like, oh, this is just gonna be like another romance. Like, I don't know if I really want to read a romance right now. Like, I don't really know. Like, I liked it. I liked it a lot. And I'm really excited for Cade's book, which is gonna be the next book, which is Rhett's older brother. I think where interconnected standalones go, I think this has the potential to be my favorite interconnected standalone series that I have read so far. A lot of the other ones, I don't know. Now that they haven't been good, they just haven't been like really good. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't a 5-star, but this is at least a 4-star. Like, I enjoyed it. I was giggling. I was kicking my feet a little bit. I was just like rooting for the couple and like so happy for them. The one thing I do have to say is the epilogues, so long. And for what? I just don't think I'm an epilogue girly, but I did like the ending and stuff like that. I liked how it wrapped up. There wasn't really a lot of points during this book where I was like, it's like dragging on, like there's like too much going on or whatever, besides the epilogue. So yeah, catch me buying the rest of the series. Wait, I was about to say buying the rest of the series, but I could wait until there's like another like book sale and buy them all at once and just read them all on Kindle Unlimited. Might just do that. But yeah, I'm going to fly through this series this summer. And then, like I have already showed you guys, I have been reading Things We Hide from the Light, which is the second book in the Knock 'Em Out series by Lucy Score. I've just listened to it so far, and this is the book that we're going to continue with for the last 2 hours and 30 minutes of our challenge. But right now, I'm really enjoying the audiobook. All the voices and stuff like that of the characters are a lot different, and I did enjoy the first one. I just read it such a long time ago, and just the sheer size of these bad boys made me not want to read them. Made me too intimidated. I was like, if I'm gonna read a big book, I'm gonna read a big fantasy, okay? So that's why I have really been putting these off for so long. This has just been on my TBR for so long, so I don't care how long it takes me to read this book. If I'm listening to the audiobook for like weeks on end, I simply don't care. I just want to get through this book, and honestly, like I said, the audiobooks go oh my god, I'm so tired. But yeah, the audiobook's really good so far. I'm liking the narrator, liking the characters and stuff like that. And I'm enjoying getting back into the town. I'm currently on chapter 8. Okay, so I'm around page like 94-ish. I can't find the exact spot, but I've seen some things that I've like listened to that just kind of stood out to me. So I know I'm around that area, but I'm almost 100 pages through. And yeah, I don't know. I'm enjoying it so far. And I do like the dual POV in these books. I just don't know if I'm going to enjoy these characters so much. And I always forget that Lucy Score, I mean, I've only read one other book by her, but Things We Never Got Over was very spicy, if I'm remembering and recalling correctly. And like I've already said once before in this video, and if you watch a lot of my videos, I enjoy tension a lot more than like the spice itself a lot of the time lately. And just like the way the male characters talk about the women in these books, it just revolves around the spice all the time. Not that that's like a bad thing or anything like that, it's just like, it's not my favorite thing, I guess. I feel like the Chestnut Springs books, low-key, the guys are kind of like that, or at least Rhett was in this one, but it's like a tasteful amount. I feel like in this one, it's almost like too much. Like it's mentioned like all the time, like almost in every single page, on it, definitely in every single chapter, okay? It's just a lot, but I am almost on page 100, so who knows how far we will get into this book by the end of this video. I don't know how many updates I'm gonna do for this book, just because we've already read 3 books in this video, and that's how many books I normally read in a video. So we shall see. I will update you guys more tomorrow whenever we officially finish the 24-hour reading challenge. I'm really excited to be done.
There's a subtle difference, she insisted, slurring a little on the word subtle. But I forget what it is. Sloane leaned in on the other side. But Elmore fell into the bar. What my esteemed colleague is trying to say is that just...
I have officially finished the 24-hour reading challenge. I feel like every time I do this, I just feel like an immense weight off of my shoulders, because sometimes it is so much just to make sure, like, just to remember to turn on the timer is a lot for me for some reason. So sometimes I'll like start a book and then I'll forget to turn it on. I'll be like, how many minutes would I read? That didn't make any sense. How many minutes was I reading for? And then I have to figure it out, or I forget to stop the timer. It just becomes this whole thing. But this time was probably the best I've ever been at it. And I'm honestly like really happy with all of the books that we ended up reading. We read 3.5 books. I'll update you with Things We Hide from the Light. I really only listened to it so far, but whenever I was listening and the timer went off, I was at the very end of chapter 23. I think I had like a minute left. So I'm on page 267 and about to start chapter 24, which is like about halfway through. I'm really enjoying it so far. It's nice, it's fun. It's just an easy read. It's not like anything like crazy is going on, and it's pretty interesting. I like Lena, the main character, and there's some anxiety representation in here, which I love because I can like relate to that, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know, I just like the way that they're like talking about it in here and stuff like that. These characters have been through a lot, and yeah, I'm really enjoying this so far. If you want to know the rest of my thoughts, it will probably be in my April wrap up because I have a feeling I'm going to be able to finish it this month. But anyways, let's go ahead and go over all the books that we finished in this video and then my ratings for them. The first book that we finished was Good Girl Bad Blood by Holly Jackson, the second book in the Good Girls Guide to Murder series. I just straight up totally binged this. I read this book in like 2 days. I was so into it. I just thought it was genius too how the main character Pippa basically like created a podcast out of everything that's happened to her. I think I already said this in this video, but comparing the first one to this one, I feel like I enjoyed this one a little bit more personally. I think I'm gonna rate this at 4.25. I don't feel like I connect a crazy amount to Pippa and the characters in this book, but it was just so good, so fast paced, and I love like the extra elements that Holly Jackson includes in all of her books, and I want to read like everything that she's written now. But this one was just really good. I think, yeah, 4.25. The second book that we finished in this video was a new release, The Rule Book by Sarah Adams. You guys know I've really enjoyed Sarah Adams books in the past. They've all been like 4-ish star reads for me. They're just very cute, fun palette cleanser books. I really still can't pinpoint what exactly it was about this one, and maybe my rating will change like the more I think about it and stuff like that. But I was like listening intently to, like, you know how sometimes you put on an audiobook and you're just like, you're not there, like you're not paying attention. I was like, I knew what was going on. I can like relay the book to you guys and like everything that basically happened. For some reason this book just like didn't hit. It didn't hit. Like, it was just kind of mid for me. I think I'm gonna rate it a 3.25 just because of the fact that there were a few things that I did enjoy. I liked how they were both like competitive. I just like, I don't know, like, not that whatever, I didn't want them together, but there were like things that I enjoy more in romance books, you know, like I like it whenever characters have more of like a past and like things going on and like they're like deep, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying, like the difference between those things. And I feel like we talked about that briefly and then it wasn't talked about for like at all in the middle of the book, and then towards the end it got brought back up again. Didn't really like that, you know? It was cute, it was fun. It was a Sarah Adams book, not my favorite. I'd probably say my favorite by her is Practice Makes Perfect. I really do like that one. That one was super cute. And then I finished Flawless by Elsie Silver. This is the first book in the Chestnut Spring series, and I loved it. I loved it. I ate it up. Brett and Summer, so freaking cute together. I really enjoyed them so much. I'm so excited to continue the rest of the series. I literally ordered Heartless immediately because, well, one, I don't know about you guys, but like if I have one book in a series, I will have to own the physical copies of the rest of the books no matter if I like them or not. Like, I really don't care. I don't know, I just enjoyed it a lot. And like Summer's backstory specifically, she just had like a lot going on and I found her very interesting. Rhett's backstory was super interesting too, and I feel like the story was just carried like very well throughout the entire thing, and it was just such an easy and quick read. Like, it was so effortless and it felt like no time went by. The only thing was the epilogues. Why were they so long? For what? You know? And then obviously I still haven't finished Things That We Hide from the Light, but I am really enjoying it so far, like I already said. And yeah, those are all the books that we read in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you guys have any thoughts on the books that I read or any books that you want me to read in videos down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you did enjoy this video, so I know that you guys enjoyed it, so I can keep making the same type of videos for you. And also comment down below the clock emoji, since it's a 24-hour reading vlog. Comment that down below so I know who the real ones are who stayed until the very end and watched the entire video. If you want to keep up with me on the daily, go ahead and follow my Instagram, my TikTok, and my Goodreads, especially Goodreads if you want to keep up with what I am reading on the daily as well. And yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you're all having a lovely day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys. Okay. My battery's dying. Okay. Oh my god, that hurt. Why does that hurt? I think I just need to keep up better with series. Is that how you say that?